All right, hey, what's up, everybody? How you guys doing? We're here with tips and tricks for Duel. This is my second video for Team Vigilant, and I'm pumped to do it. I like doing more of these kinds of ones where, I go outside of my comfort zone, and, generally my uploads to YouTube have been just my my daily matches and stuff. But for the sake of, giving something new for the Vigilant audience, I wanted to, like I said, go outside my comfort zone, do something a little bit different. The build doesn't matter too much here, but some of the stuff that I'm going to be doing is like late game oriented, so I wanted to make sure that I had, just a solid basis here. I'm going to try to treat it as though, like obviously I'm Thor here, so I have like some tools to like ult and use my hammer to get out of stuff, but it's not, I'm going to treat it as though I just have basically like no abilities just for certain situations. Okay, so one of the biggest things, obviously I started at level 20, like I said, for the opening Gambit. Velsaria here is helping us out. Thanks so much to Velsaria again. Give him the appropriate name drop for the video. So the opening Gambit here is generally, red buff's the most important. You're always going to be fighting over this red buff in the early game. You're going to be trying to pressure each other out on waves to try to get each other's mana low enough that that one of you can go and secure this, or get your health down low enough, or just pressure the wave in, shove it in. If they don't have good enough clear, that you can go and take this down. Now, the best thing you can do in a scenario like this, say this wave was pushed up and I pushed my full wave in here. Now, Velsaria would be back towards tower, and we can go in like this. Now, at level 3, we can't do this buff here, but he can't see us, so he doesn't know that we're not doing it. So we bait him in, he comes through, close to the wall, and you go in with a quick initiation there, and that is one of the major things in Duel. That opening red Gambit, in that kind of scenario, say he's poked out a little bit, that's how you secure your early kills in the early game, and that's how you push them out even further. Even if you can't kill them, obviously you're getting them lower by doing that. So that is completely one of the most important things, utilizing the fact that these walls are built the way they are. They have these like high mountain arches and stuff, and you can just use that perfectly. So that's definitely a big one. Now, another little thing in this is being able to see over blue buff walls. Certain characters actually can't do it if they're too small, like Cupid, I think, actually is too small to do this, but it is a very big part of Duel. You'll see almost everyone do it. You can see if the opponent is doing blue that way, or you can see if the blue is just up, or, if they're not there. It gives you all the vision that you need. And that's just Duel 101 right there. And so many people, when they come in, like, they're like, what the hell? Like, some people would accuse me of like cheating on stream when I'm doing that. They're like, what the fuck? That's bullshit. But it is so common in Duel at this point that you just gotta know it. So going in, definitely a big part of it is to realize you can do that. But there's also one other secret here that you can do. But sorry, if you could stay over there. Yeah, thanks. If you could stay beyond this wall, right over there, and push up against the wall. Are you pushed up against the wall? Where are you? Let me see. What? No, over here. Over here. Thank you. So if you now you're pushed up against the wall. There, you can see his shadow right there. If most people, when they try to walk through this part, you can see the shadow, or sometimes you can even see the person come through right as they're walking through here. So one of the biggest things you should do when you're stealing the enemy's blue and they're coming through is you can just do the buff and watch that wall, and you'll be able to actually see them through it a good amount of the time as they walk past it. So it actually works out quite well. I think even if they just walk through the middle part here, try to walk like back and forth through that middle part there and see what we can see there. you can see, I just saw them clip for a second through, but it is generally people when they're up against this wall, they'll go in this kind of pattern right across it, and that will allow you to get that kind of animation through there. It's just a small one, and it's not always the most reliable, but it does work in a lot of positions, and it saved me quite a few times. So definitely something to look for. Now let's see, what else? Oh, a big one actually that I should have definitely been an ADC for is Death Toll proccing without aggro. In the opening Gambit here, the red buff actually is, yeah, I know, I screwed up. The red buff is actually able to be, hit by an ADC from this range, of course. And you don't aggro it because you're outside of aggro range, but you still heal off of Death Toll. I don't know why that is. I think it's a major flaw in the game, and it should be fixed because it doesn't make sense, because almost everything in the game, you know, you only really get a healing effect if you're aggroing the buff, because they don't want you to abuse it otherwise. But you'll see so many ADCs in this early part autoing away here and just getting free health and mana, and it's kind of broken. It absolutely is broken, and you see it. I rage at it because I'm not playing ADCs too much and stuff. I'm gonna try to do one of my messages to high res and be like, yo, why does this work? Because it helps them so much in the early. They push the wave in, and they know they can't do the buff yet, but they'll heal off of it, and they're just like getting, you know, free pots that way. It's bullshit. So definitely either abuse that or watch out for it. When they're doing that, they're not just trying to bait you over to it. They're actually getting health, and it's kind of, you know, nonsense. All right, so another one that I also could have been an ADC for is kiting the Bull Demon. Going here and wasting its shots by attacking it from a little bit further back makes him not be able to hit you as many times. As you can see, you know, being able to just backpedal auto. Say we were an ADC here, or we're even Thor just using ability damage, though. If you're, you know, you're strapped for health, and you just have to keep going back like this, and you need to finish it without taking any damage, kiting the Bull Demon is actually incredibly easy because he is so slow. Very similar to the Titan in that regard, and I'll actually get into that right now. The Bull Demon, another big tip about it, say we see that the red buff is up on the map, and we know that the red buff is the major contest point. Say we shoved our wave in, and it's up towards his tower. We know that he's going to be coming back and going towards that red buff. That's because that is everybody's quick, you know, they survey the map, they say red buff is up, I'm going straight there. That is how you know to immediately take down the Bull Demon in that scenario. So that's just kind of abusing the fact that, you know, people have certain priorities in the game, and you know that they're at that red buff. You just rush it down and start it before they even get back to the map. The best way, however, to know that you're secure in doing that, and in doing the Bull Demon in general, is with wards. Wards are actually super important in Duel. Not enough people utilize them often. Actually, you know what, I'm going to pick up a second one and show you something else that you can do. Because of how the map is, and because of how much gold you actually have accessible to you, in certain fights, if you know where the enemy is, but you want to like pin them down, a lot of times people will hide in this red buff area here, and it is very hard to actually get to them. You want to be able to see where they are. They'll hide behind these walls, they'll hide behind that wall. So the best thing you do is you just drop a ward in there, and you get full coverage that way. So you'll be able to get ready for their escape. There's no way that they'll be able to hide from you because you got the full ward. Yeah, sorry, if you can go in there into the red buff pit. Generally, he could hide behind either wall, but if you just have a ward on disposal, that's why it's good to just carry one sometimes on your own, and you'll just be able to utilize it that way at the, you know, at the most crucial junctures there. Now, the most important ward of all are these two wards, this one here and over here. The two different reasons that you'll use these is defensively. This will be your defensive ward. If you're on this side of the map, you put the ward here because they're going to always look to push your wave up and then walk through here. 9 out of 10 times, that's going to be their pathing. Sometimes they'll go through the other one, and that's why it'll be best to have it on both spots. But if you can only afford to do one, or you know, it's only convenient for you to do one side, and you're in a defensive pushed out position, you were behind, definitely put the ward here where I'm standing now. And then if you're going for the aggressive bull demon, you want to put the ward over here. This ward gives you all the coverage of them trying to come in while they're coming from their base, or if they're coming straight from the lane. So that way you got the easy bull demon secure in that kind of position, or you bait them. Baiting them is, you know, almost important, and sometimes even more important than securing the bull demon itself. They come through this ward, you see them on it, you hide behind this wall, because again, utilizing the walls is such a big part, and they'll come through that ward. Oh, sorry, yeah. They'll come through that crucial juncture ward. You see them, and you wait for them to come in here while you're still standing here while they're crossing the bridge, because they still don't see you. Then you go straight in with the hot combo, and you go all for it. And then, yeah, the Fenrir turns the fight with Ragnarok. With his new buffs for sure too. But yeah, so that's, like I said, warding those two places, super important actually, and it's something that's not done enough. What else? Make sure I give you guys as much info as I can here. One of them, the biggest ones as well, is okay, if you're like me and you aggress into maybe the Titan area to get a quick kill over here, a little too early, you can take minimal shots from him by just going around this part. That's the only part that you'll have to get hit by the Titan. People laugh all the time when I do this, and they're like, holy shit, how's he doing it? But all you have to do is go around in a complete circle, or as complete a circle as you can. The only time you'll get hit is around that area. You might even be able to minimize that. Of course, if you use Thor's abilities here, you'll be able to get out, you know, no problem. But say you're not Thor, you're in a position to be able to just do this. And ADCs can do this as well, the same way as I was talking about with the Bull Demon. Yeah, that time I did it without even getting hit. The same way with the Bull Demon, where they can turn and attack it and take a little bit less damage, especially in the old days of Fatalis. This was kind of broken, especially Fatalis Medusa. But yeah, more than anything, getting out of crucial points with the Titan there, I see so many people not kite that correctly, and it is very easy to do. Just go around in a complete circle around him there. Don't be scared. The Titan is a pushover in Duel. Absolutely. He's probably the least of your worries in the entire thing. And yeah. Alright, I think we got one more, and this is an important one. Mentality in Duel. It's still, I'd say it's more of a tip than a trick, right? Tips and tricks. This is definitely one of the biggest tips I can have for you. Is knowing, like, when to F6. And so many people will be mad at me because there's a lot of F7 warriors, probably including Velsaria here. But you gotta know when the game is over. In a certain scenario, if you're like me and you like to play a lot of like unviable gods, Thor even included, say you're going up against like a Cucullin and you're down 3-0, he's up 2.5k and you are Thor, and the guy is playing very well, and you just know the way that he's playing is it's a wrap. Like, that's your matchup. So people will get so tilted by remaining in those games and allowing themselves to go like 0-10. It's better off to just F6. What I like to do is the premature F6 before F10. You just exit that game. There is no penalty. There's absolutely no penalty for it other than your goodwill. You lose goodwill. So if you're, if you're a good guy, you like goodwill, then that's not for you. But if you're like me, you're like the anti-hero, you don't give a shit about goodwill, you can absolutely do that. But more than anything, if you're, still against that, like Velsari's practicing now, if you're against that, you can still use your judgment to just wait out the 10 minutes and then F6. You just don't let yourself get tilted. Duel is one of those game modes that breeds toxicity because so many people will stick around in it and they will try to beat their heads against a wall to win something that they can't win. At a certain point, it's over. Not always. There are comebacks. There absolutely are, and I've made some crazy comebacks myself. And sometimes I'll look to F6 before, you know, the game is over, and I'll surprise myself and I'll win. You should always try. Absolutely always try. But when you are tilted beyond belief and it's just, you know, on yourself at that point, and you know that you as a person, maybe not even your god, but you as a person can't do it, then I say you go on to the next one and try to learn. Always learn from your mistakes in Duel, because it's the easiest game mode to learn from. It's just you and your opponent, it's their build, it's your build, and it's the matchup. And it's how you play the field, right? So there's always something that you can learn from how your opponent played and how you played. Knowing matchups, ones like this is a Thor versus a Fenrir. See, look, we can see him through that wall. This is a Thor versus a Fenrir. This would go to Fenrir. Now with his buffs, probably quite handily, especially with the stun on the Thor 3. But you got options in the early game. You know that you have to win something like this in the early. And if it's not going your way, there might be some potential for outplay. But, you know, if you're getting super tilted, I just want more people to be able to enjoy Duel more than anything at the end of the day. Because, like I said, it is a game mode that people associate with toxicity and tilt and just awfulness, and I, you know, would love for people to have less of that, because I think, you know, not to brag, right, but like I like to say that I do that the least out of most of the people that I see. You know, I just let it happen, and some people will say it's because I make excuses about matchups and stuff, and, you know, sure, fine, but at the end of the day, like, first of all, I find those valid, and at the end of the day, that continues to be how I get to keep playing, you know? As long as you can realize that this is, you know, something justifiable, a justifiable loss for you, then you can just keep going at it and, you know, going strong. So, if you love Duel, keep at it. In my opinion, whether you want to play the top tiers or the low tiers or the mid tiers or any of the tiers, Tier himself, just, you know, keep at it and keep these tips and tricks in mind. Thanks so much for watching, you guys, and thanks so much to Velsaria, aka White Crystal, for helping us out here. Really do appreciate it. Oh, there's one more thing, actually. Good thing you reminded me by doing that jump here. Okay, so this is one of the coolest things you can do in Duel, and I do it almost every game. Now, Velsaria, follow from behind over here. I'm going over this wall, right? And say Velsaria is lagging behind just a little bit. I go over this wall, and Velsaria, no, stay on the other side, sorry. And Velsaria is looking through this wall at me. He doesn't know. As soon as I pass the wall, he doesn't know what my movement pattern is. So I can quickly juke to the other side and hit. Alright, here. You're going to try to jump through the wall at me here, Velsaria. Ready? You're going to follow me here, and then from here, jump through the wall right to here. Yeah. So see, he doesn't know that we're moving out there just like that every time. He sees me, we're following each other both over here. He thinks, oh, look, easy through the wall. Nope. As soon as you pass that corner, you turn. And then he does that, yeah. So it is one of the best tricks you can do in Duel. Absolutely abusing the way that the map is structured is so important, and that's just one of the many ways. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time.